Just ahead on CTV News. Today marks the first 100 days of President Trump's second term in office. Plus,
game days at Northwest Stadium could be coming to a close. I'm Bryce Parker. We'll have all the details on the Commanders' potential move back to D.C. coming up on CTV News.
And police share details in the case of a missing child. Those stories and more on CTV News, starting now.
Good evening, this is CTV News for April 29th. I'm Michaela Newton.
And I'm Katara Jones. Thanks for joining us. He promised to hit the ground running, and indeed he did.
Today marks the 100th day in office for President Donald Trump. Byron Scott spoke with voters to get their take.
I thought it would get better. Things getting worse.
President Donald Trump's first 100 days in office have left some speechless, others in agreement.
How would you rate the first 100 days? Is there anything you like, the president?
Not that I can think of right away.
I agree with them sending a lot of the immigrants back, but I mean, it's still, we're in a third world country, far as I'm concerned.
To be sure, the president's whiplash decisions have dominated the headlines since his inauguration. Over the past 100 days, thousands of federal workers have been fired. Our area has seen a large number of protests.
Really shocking that he's back in office.
Tariffs, which the president says will eventually lead to lower prices, have been a hallmark of confusion. The on-again, off-again retaliatory measures have led to a roller coaster ride on Wall Street.
He says tariffs are a good idea.
Okay, now I don't really understand tariffs. I don't think he does either.
I do think with the arrival of the tariff inflation, further progress may be delayed.
In addition to calling Fed Chair Jerome Powell a major loser, Trump continues to advocate for Canada as the 51st state, and he's even targeted the Smithsonian Museum of African American History and Culture.
It's not a demon, but his principles and policies are just what is causing a whole lot of confusion.
On immigration, plane loads of undocumented immigrants have been flown to other countries, including Kilmar Abrego Garcia of Prince George's County. The administration, which said he was mistakenly deported to a prison in El Salvador, now says it was not a mistake, and the administration continues to defy a court order to facilitate his return.
What do you think about how he's been doing thus far?
Completely terrible. I don't like the guy that never voted for him, so I just, I don't think he's doing the right thing.
So do you have anything good to say about the president?
As a human being, as a Christian, and I hope that the Almighty God that allowed this to happen would touch his heart and the entire, people in his cabinet.
Byron Scott, CTV News.
Donald Trump's presidency isn't the only thing hitting a 100-day milestone today. So is the battle against his administration by many attorney generals, including Maryland's Anthony Brown. Since Inauguration Day, Brown has led or joined more than 24 lawsuits challenging the executive orders and policies of the Trump administration. Brown, who is a Democrat, says the lawsuits are not political statements, but challenges to issues and problems being created for Marylanders. The suits include one challenging the firing of thousands of probationary federal workers and another challenging the administration's threat to withhold funding from schools that don't comply with its DEI ban.
Meanwhile, the Maryland Attorney General, along with 18 other attorneys general, is also suing the U.S. Department of Education. The lawsuit challenges a new demand that states drop programs promoting diversity and inclusion in schools or risk losing millions in federal funding. Maryland, like many other states, refused to comply, saying it already follows civil rights laws and won't be bullied into dropping legal and long-standing equity efforts in classrooms. The coalition is asking the court to block any attempt to cut funding over this policy.
The Washington Commanders have called Landover home for nearly 3 decades.
But that could all change in the next 5 years. CTV's Bryce Parker is in Landover with more.
Game day at Northwest Stadium could be in its final hours as the Washington Commanders and D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser have come to an agreement to resurrect the old RFK site. Now, county and state leaders are scrambling to find out what will be the financial implications of this move, while some county residents are actually excited for the team's potential return back to D.C.
I think it restores a lot of like the aura that the team had when it was in RFK. Like when the team was in RFK, like it was the team. It was, you know, they ran the league. They were one of the most important teams. They was winning Super Bowls in that stadium.
I honestly think it's a good idea. I feel like them moving back to D.C., it gives us chances to make more money for the city. You know, that gives us a chance to have the Super Bowl. You could possibly have the Olympics in the DMV. I think it'll just be an overall big money maker for the city.
People in Prince George's County that's elected officials that's getting paid and getting some type of revenue from this, yeah, they're going to lose out. You know, the governor might be a little unhappy. But I think my brother Westmore will be all right.
The fans want game day at RFK back, and part of that push stems from the distaste with their current stadium.
I'm not a fan of this building. Like, I just don't like FedEx Field. I don't like all the issues. I just don't think it's a very well-constructed building.
If we're being for real, I don't like FedEx. It's very, I don't know, it doesn't fit.
And as the Commanders are moving on for a better fit, county and state leaders are moving forward. Acting County Executive Tara Jackson is pointing to the already $500 million that have been committed to the development of the Blue Line Corridor. Governor Westmore highlights the memorandum of understanding that was signed back in December of 2024, which the Commanders committed to help create a, quote, vibrant mixed-use development once a new stadium is built. Now, fans did have some sympathy for the potential financial ramifications on the county.
You have people in the area who probably buy houses because it's by the stadium, so that might be something for them.
But ultimately, they'd like to see the Washington team embrace its dominance of the past.
It's this very homegrown environment.
Washington Redskins, Washington Commanders, and Washington, D.C. Goes back to the chemistry of the 60s, 70s, and 80s, you know, up to the early 90s. So.
Now, the details of this deal are not quite finished yet. The D.C. City Council has to approve the details of the deal by summer of 2025. Now, if all goes to plan, groundbreaking is scheduled to take place in fall of 2026. In Landover, I'm Bryce Parker, CTV News.
All right, Bryce, thanks so much. As of today, the Commanders are still committed to that memorandum of understanding, and the governor believes the land around the Landover site can be used as the state center for quantum development.
A new hub to analyze the success of quantum computing is coming to the University of Maryland. Governor Westmore announced the launch of the Capital Quantum Benchmarking Hub, which will work in partnership with the U.S. Department of Defense. It will study how the success of quantum approaches over the next 8 years. Moore says the partnership will leverage $100 million in match federal investments into Maryland's quantum sector. Earlier this year, Governor Moore launched the $1 billion Capital of Quantum initiative, a part of his plan to position the state and the university as a leader in the quantum industry. And a county mom is giving her thanks to Prince George's police for rescuing her missing autistic son. Prince George's police say an 8-year-old boy named Nadeem, who is nonverbal with autism, went missing from his home. According to his mom, her son left her home by opening the locks of her front door. When police received the call about the missing boy, they sprung into action. Officers from the K-9 and Aviation divisions helped locate the child at a nearby lake and got him medical assistance. Corporal Everett Mason Jr. found the boy with his legs submerged into the water.
When I saw him, and I was using my flashlight, and he actually turned around, was kind of relieved, but he kind of looked away a little bit, so I just wanted to reach out and put my hand on him. I didn't know if he was going to go back in the water or not.
I'm very grateful. They are very knowledgeable about the spectrum, and I really appreciate all their hard work. They did a terrific job finding my son alive, and it was very quick.
Good work there from Prince George's Police. And police also want to encourage parents with children with autism to get swim lessons.
Well, a Suitland man is in custody for the murder of his girlfriend. The boyfriend is identified as 38-year-old Michael McClanahan. Prince George's police conducted a welfare check at the couple's home last Thursday when they found 44-year-old Sharon Turner deceased. Her body was wrapped in plastic and partially covered in concrete. Investigation revealed she died due to blunt force trauma. McClanahan is charged with first and second degree murder, along with attempting to dispose of the body.
A man suspected of shooting and killing his girlfriend earlier on Monday morning is in the hospital with what appears to be self-inflicted gunshot wounds. Around 2 a.m. yesterday, officers responded to a home on the 3900 blocks of Blexy Place in Suitland. There, 36-year-old Nero Nomrano Gratini was suffering from gunshot wounds. She was pronounced dead on the scene. The suspect is currently in the hospital with life-threatening injuries. This remains an open investigation, and anyone with information is asked to call 301-516-2112. And you're watching CTV News. I'm Katera Jones.
And I'm Michaela Newton. Still to come, Governor Moore makes a stop in the county this morning. I'll have details on his visit after the break.
Welcome to Extra Butter, Please. I'm your host, Sydney Jackson. We kick up. What happened? Where are the lights? Prince George's County Community Television is at risk of being defunded. Hard-hitting local news and creative content will cease to exist. Contact your county council member at 301-952.
You gotta keep going, keep breathing. When you face a day that feels like you're gonna break, you gotta believe what I see. You gotta keep going, keep breathing. When you face a day that feels like you're gonna break, so lean on the ones that love you, the guardian angels above you. Just another color. Ooh, just another color. Just another color.
Welcome back. A dog is dead after a Prince George's police officer fires its weapon at it. Police were called at a report to a large two dogs attacking a man last Saturday morning. When officers arrived to the scene on the 3200 block of Walters Lane, one of the dogs charged toward the officer. That officer then discharged his weapon, striking the animal, and the dog ultimately died. The victim of the dog attack has sustained serious injuries to his face. An investigation into the incident is ongoing.
Meanwhile, Hyattsville police had their hands full last night after a propane tank leak shut down roads downtown. This is the 250-gallon propane tank located near the alternate Route 1 bridge between Baltimore Avenue and Charles Armentrout Drive. The Prince George's Fire Department hazmat team, along with the state's Department of Energy, were both on the scene. Police shared that there was no need to evacuate and roads were reopened around 10:30. And this morning, students at Bishop McNamara High School got a surprise for a first-of-its-kind speaker series with a special guest of honor. Take a look.
And it was great to confront him and, to be inspired by him. So it was an amazing opportunity.
Students at Bishop McNamara High School were in for a surprise this morning. It's a part of a new series that exposes students to meaningful conversations with industry leaders.
One of the really complicating things about leadership is you don't just have to tackle the things that you're prepared for. You have to tackle the things that you didn't prepare for.
Today's conversation with Governor Moore focused on faith and overcoming challenges. William Lightfoot and Maya Stewart, who were able to interview Governor Moore, says those were key takeaways from the event.
He specifically talked about look for tough. Look for something tough, especially when you're figuring out what you want to major in and stuff, because tough will come and you need to build the skills to be resilient in issues.
To challenge myself, I'm not really good at that. I'm always trying to pick another way. I'm like, wait, I can do it another way. It's really okay. But yeah, to really challenge myself.
This conversation is just one of many to come for the National Blue Ribbon School.
It was an amazing opportunity. I knew it was going to be an amazing opportunity. I was just really excited.
Bishop McNamara is one of about 10 National Blue Ribbon schools in Maryland, and this title is awarded to schools that excel in academic performance. This year's graduating class has earned over $28 million in college scholarships.
The fight to save our beloved CTV pushes forward. Employees, volunteers, public access producers, and supporters of Prince George's Community Television rallied outside the Wayne K. Curry administration building Monday evening. The message last night was clear: save CTV. The county's proposed budget, which is in front of the council, would essentially eliminate the county's public access station. Supporters are asking the council to keep its doors open by fully funding CTV.
Public access TV is based upon the people having a voice in how the government operates and to determine who is elected and who is not elected. So when you go after public access TV, you are shutting down the voices of the people.
Everyone who has something on their spirits, whether you write poetry or not, CTV is the channel, the local access channel that is providing the voice of the people to be heard.
Following the rally, CTV supporters attended the council's public hearing on the county's proposed budget. And a new facility where residents can go and get employment support opens up in the county. The Prince George's County Workforce Development Board and the American Job Center Community Network have teamed up to open a new job and resource lab in Brentwood. The facility, which is located in the Brentwood Town Center, opened its doors to the public yesterday. The state-of-the-art building offers career coaching, educational funding, and is a critical resource to residents looking to find their next job.
The job and resource labs are pivotally placed with our local municipalities. Prince George's County has 27 municipalities that represent hundreds of thousands of residents. Job and resource labs put those resources for workforce development, education, and training in the neighborhoods at the doorsteps of hundreds of thousands of residents.
This is the fourth job and resource center to open its doors in the county.
University of Maryland could soon be providing more accommodation for grieving students. The University Senate voted in favor of a proposal to revise sections of the university's excused absence policy and redefine bereavement as the period of mourning after the death of someone close to the student. The policy would include bereavement as an acceptable justification for an excused absence. The proposal lets students submit 2 self-signed absence notes per semester as long as they don't miss a major assignment or exam.
Montgomery County could be headed for a tax shakeup with income taxes now on the table. The County Council introduced a resolution to raise the income tax rate from 3.2 to 3.3%. The new state maximum. County Executive Mark Elrich says this plan is fairer than a property tax hike and would help fully support the school system's $3.6 billion budget. But not everyone agrees. Critics warn the timing is wrong as many federal workers face layoffs. The council is set to vote on the final budget next month.
Well, after years of legal fighting, relief is finally coming to thousands of Maryland Energy customers. The Maryland Public Service Commission has ordered Smart Energy Holdings to pay back $6.5 million to more than 32,000 former customers within 90 days. The company was found to have used deceptive marketing and illegal phone solicitations between 2017 and 2019. After losing appeals all the way to the state Supreme Court, Smart Energy must now comply or face even steeper penalties. And still to come on CTV News, Commanders fans recently rallied for the 3rd day of the NFL Draft.
That's right after the break, here from a local fan and council member.
Hello, I'm Eric Fields, the bosses of the Gamma Pi chapter of the Omega Psi Phi fraternity. I'm here at the empty set of our show, Community Uplift. The reason there is no one here is because we wanted to show you what it would look like if the Prince George's County government closes down our community television station because of budgetary constraints. Without the station, important information will not be delivered to the citizens of the county. Without the station, there will be no opportunities for our aspiring newscasters, videographers, and television producers to get real-life training from this award-winning television station here in Prince George's County, Maryland. Let the members of the County Council know how important the station is to you, the citizens of Prince George's County. I'm Eric Fields, and I support this station.
Some good news for Maryland colleges. 7 of them just made the Wall Street Journal's list of the top schools in the country for setting graduates up for financial success. Leading the pack here at home, Loyola University in Columbia. It ranks 65th nationally and tops the list in Maryland when it comes to earning potential. Also making the cut, Johns Hopkins, Towson University, University of Maryland, College Park, UMBC, McDaniel College, and Salisbury University.
Martinelli's has issued a recall for more than 170,000 bottles of apple juice. The bottles up for recall are the 10-ounce bottles that may have contaminated patchouli, a colorless toxic substance. The recall was first initiated back in March, but was upgraded to a Class 2. The designation indicates that the product could cause temporary or medically reversible adverse health consequences. Drinking patchouli-contaminated apple juice could cause symptoms like nausea, vomiting, and possibly damage the DNA in some body cells.
Well, for all my foodies out there, a new list is ranking the best Mexican restaurants in the Washington metro area, and 3 of those are right here in Prince George's. ERDC updated its list of favorite Mexican food spots, including Taqueria El Mexican, which you can find in Adelphi. Also listed is Cielo Rojo, a family-owned restaurant in Tacoma Park. And rounding out the list is Taqueria La Placita in Hyattsville, where you can expect a line every day around lunchtime.
This weekend, the Washington Commanders invited fans from across the DMV to celebrate the 3rd day of the NFL Draft. The draft party was hosted at the National Harbor. Fans got the chance to listen to music and hear from players as the team selected the 3 of their 5 total draft picks this year. Even County Council member Sidney Harrison was in attendance, and he made a very bold prediction about his upcoming season.
We are very excited about our team. We know that the Washington Commanders represents the entire DMV region, and we know Prince George's County is the home of the Washington Commanders. But what we saw last year from this team, there's nothing but all we can do is be excited about the burgundy and gold. We went to the NFC Championship game. We lost, but there's plenty of excitement around the DMV region about our Commanders. And I'm going to make a prediction. You heard it first. We're going to the Super Bowl next year.
And Simon Buggs is here with our Tuesday sports page.
That's right. What you got for us today, Simon?
Don't go anywhere, sports fans, because coming right up, Commanders owner Josh Harris and D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser make an exciting announcement. Stay tuned.
Hi, my name is DeAndre Vidal, and I'm a 2-time Emmy-winning assistant editor and a former CTV intern. CTV is perfectly positioned to empower Prince Georgians to be the leaders in local news and entertainment for Prince George's County and beyond. The county budget for the future needs to include CTV because CTV is an essential community resource for the future.
My name is Antonia DeBarros, and I'm a film and television editor, and I got my start as an intern at CTV. Growing up in Prince George's County, Hollywood seemed so out of reach for me. I wouldn't have believed in the possibility of this career before I started working at CTV. CTV has been and continues to be an invaluable resource for our community to gain entry into news, education, and entertainment programming. This year's county budget must include funding for CTV.
All right, everybody, you know what time it is. Let's get into it. We begin with some exciting news from the Gridiron. As it's official, Commanders fans, the team is heading back to the nation's capital. Washington and the D.C. government have reached an agreement to build a new stadium as part of a project totaling $4 billion. The stadium will be built at the old RFK site where the franchise played for more than 30 years. D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser and Commanders owner Josh Harris spoke yesterday about this exciting time.
What our deal with the Washington Commanders provides is the fastest and surest route to developing the RFK campus, and not just delivering sports and entertainment, but delivering housing, jobs, recreation, and economic development. We will be able to deliver thousands of homes here. It will deliver a world-class, community-focused sportsplex for our kids.
Now we want to bring the Commanders home with a new RFK that our fans will love, our opponents will fear. It'll be loud. We want to make it about football, but also about the city and the community, and we want to host the biggest and best events in the world.
The new stadium will open in 2030 with groundbreaking expected to begin next year. And in other Commanders news, the team has made some solid offseason moves so far to make sure this team is even more exciting in 2025. And CTV Sports caught up with some fans recently and asked them about which offseason move they love the most.
Debo Samuels. We added another element to our offense. Now teams can't double team Terry McLaurin. So now they have to play us honestly. So now I think that we can achieve like supernatural things on the field. It's just up to us on how we win.
Love the Laramie Tunsil trade. That was perfect. Loved every second of that. Kinlaw, we'll see how that goes. I have faith in Adam Peters though. Debo, fantastic move for a fifth. Perfect. Loved everything about that.
Meanwhile, UMD head men's basketball coach Buzz Williams has announced the members of his coaching staff. First is Devin Johnson, who will be the team's associate head coach. Johnson had been on staff with Williams since 2012 and followed him to Virginia Tech, Texas A&M, and now Maryland. Next is Lyle Wolf, who has been hired as an assistant coach for the team. Wolf has spent all of Williams' tenure at Texas A&M in that same role. Steve Rockefeller will also be on the staff as an assistant coach. He was an assistant coach for the Aggies from 2021 to 2025. Maryland is the 10th school that he has coached for. And finally, Williams promoted Wabisa Bede to an assistant coach role after spending the last 5 years on staff at Texas A&M. Bede also suited up for the Virginia Tech men's basketball team from 2017 to 2021, where Williams was the head coach for 2 of those seasons. And wrapping up sports, the Washington Nationals will be in the city of brotherly love tonight, taking on the Philadelphia Phillies. First pitch is at 6:45. And that is your Tuesday sports page. Simon Buggs, CTV Sports.
All right, Simon, with a look at sports. Thanks so much. Let's get a look at our 3-day weather forecast. Tonight will be partly cloudy, and we'll get some showers after 2 a.m. Tomorrow, we have a slight chance of showers. It'll be 81 degrees. Thursday, more rain is expected, so bring your umbrellas. We'll have a high of 79 and a low of 64. Friday, it'll be 85 degrees, but expect showers between 2 and 8 p.m.
And for our community calendar, tomorrow is the deadline for the borough's District 8 scholarship. The scholarship is designed to support District 8 high school seniors and those currently in college or trade school who have demonstrated resilience, leadership, and a commitment to community excellence. Applicants must include a resume demonstrating academic success and community service, along with 2 letters of recommendation. For more information and to apply, email mgm.scholarships@pgcps.org. And that wraps up our time tonight. CTV News, thanks for joining us.
We'll see you again tomorrow. Have a good night.